Hello, I am Sarah Millican and welcome to episode 91 of How to Be Champion Storytime Spectacular. Ta-da! We're in the middle of the join in chapter. Let's just crack on. We do it every Christmas Day, and the smashers using the hashtag normally means it carries over to Boxing Day. If people ask, we do it on New Year's Eve in a smaller way. Some folk want it for Valentine's Day, but I draw the line at Easter. If you're on your own, then you don't have to share your chocolate eggs with anyone. There should be a hashtag get out for Easter. Here are some example tweets from Join In 2016. Met a lovely vicar yesterday at morning service in Wroxall. Told him all about hashtag join in. He thought it was marvellous. Even Jesus approves. I'll be honest, at Sarah Millican 75 comedy is not for me, but hashtag join in is brilliant thinking. Well done, X. Even people who hate me get involved. My first year on my own in 10 years, I struggled, won't lie. I may not have hashtag join in today, but found some help in each tweet. You don't even have to chat, you can just read it. Like how you used to be able to buy a ticket at the baths to be a spectator. I'm not saying hashtag join in bystanders or paedophiles, not at all. Let's be clear on that. Bad analogy, sorry everyone. And then one last tweet there. It is just another day, but please keep going. We are here and you're not alone. Hashtag join in. This was in reply to someone struggling. Makes me do a little cry. So this Christmas, come and find me. Join Twitter for the day if you have to. I'll be at Sarah Millican 75, where the door is always open. And just a little extra thing. It is, if you're needing company during the lockdown, I know a lot of people are now mixing with other people, but some people still aren't. It is still there. It's massive on Christmas Day, join in, but it is kind of low level always there. So just type in hashtag join in and start having conversations with people. You kind of get out as much as you put in, so you need to start having chats with people and let people know you want some company. Chapter 42, tips for turning 40. Life begins at 40. So say people who are in their 40s, and mugs. Just like people in their 20s say, have you heard the new Yaz record? It's Exy. Exy was a word we used as kids, presumably short for excellent. And people in their 70s say, I'm in my 70s. People under 40 and card manufacturers seem to think turning 40 is going to be bloody awful, and that the only possible way you can handle it is by getting absolutely shit-faced. This now 42-year-old, 45, 42 when I wrote this, not lying, almost teetotaler dealt with it in a different way. I remember really looking forward to it. I hadn't been in a new decade in a while, and I've always thought that women in their 40s are very together, focused, wear pencil skirts and know how to tie a silk scarf. My stomach rumbling. As an unsophisticated 39-year-old, I ran a silk scarf down my leg like they do in the adverts for depilatory cream, and it's been there ever since. I now have to tug it into my socks. I think your 30s are for finding your way, for learning how to eat in restaurants. Eat alone in restaurants. No, not just eat in restaurants. It's the same as eating anywhere else. Well, it probably won't be for a while, but let's not talk about that. For learning how to eat in restaurants alone. Nailed. Tip, take this book or listen to my podcast on your phone. Standard Issue is the podcast. Another tip, pretend you have a friend joining you later and order 2 dinners. Eat both dinners. For learning how to say no. Nailed. Tip, think of how uncomfortable it is to say no and compare it to how fucked off you'll be when the yes appears in your diary. Another tip, you don't always have to give reasons. Just look a bit sad at having to say no. Then say no. Should I do it now? Oh, do you want to come to work? No. That's it. That's all you have to do. For surrounding yourself with excellent people. Nailed. Tip, your friends are a reflection of you. I sometimes arrogantly twirl around the house at how brilliant my friends are. Another tip, be a good friend. It's almost the best thing you can be. For accepting who you are and not apologising for it. Nailed. Tip, I'm never going to be a size 10. I like eating and I like having big tits. Another tip, I don't wind my windows up at traffic lights anymore. It's about time the world heard a little more go west. Surely your 40s are about living that life you've created. reading in a cafe alone, dancing in your nightie to whatever music you love, spending time with quality mates, and hopefully never feeling obliged to say yes to a thing. All in pencil skirts and silk scarves tied a multitude of ways. 40 is also a new start. I want to be healthier. With a tiny wink at my mortality, before the end of my last day of being 39, I booked appointments for the doctors, dentist and optician. I had a 40 MOT because life continues at 40. And we start the next chapter, rattling through the chapters in this episode. Next chapter is chapter 43, recipe for my very favourite cake. My favourite cake is one I make. How cocky is that? I think it's partly because I don't have to go out to get it, though I sometimes have to pop to the shops for some of the ingredients, as my fridge can look like it belongs to a single man, some cheesy milk and half an onion, and the kitchen cupboards are full of all sorts of tat. I used to keep a jar of my ice and heads in there, for fuck's sake. I felt bad every time a fan made me a cake and we couldn't eat it, strangers. So if they'd made a fondant version of me for the top, I'd keep the head. I thought it was funny. Turns out it's just crackers. It looked like a baker had it in for me. I once cleaned out my cupboards, just the once, and found a tin of marrowfat peas in there. I'm reluctant to throw old tins away in case of a war, or, pandemic. Should that happen, you are all welcome round to mine for custard and marrowfat peas. I'm retracting that offer. Don't come. We've eaten all of the custard and marrowfat peas. I'm not even sure I know what they are. I'm quite new to peas. They were one of the things I definitely didn't like as a child without ever having tried them. Turns out they're really nice, though I only dabble in garden peas. I've heard they are a gateway pea. So how did these peas get in my cupboard? They had a number on the top. Apparently, 6 years before, I'd won them in a raffle. That's the kind of classy do I go to. And that is the end of episode 91. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good rest of day. Let me know what you're going to have to eat later on, please. I'd like to know what you're having. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Stay in the house. If you have to go out, put a mask on and wash your fucking hands. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hello, it's Sarah Millican here. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of my latest videos. Don't forget to like, pop a comment below, and why not stick around to watch a few more? I'm sure those emails or those dishes can wait a bit longer.